Metal scholars, at the heart of Ascensionism lies a profound exploration of power dynamics and, in my opinion, manipulation. The opening reveals a chilling confrontation between two characters. One embodies the traits of narcissism, and the other grapples with the oppressive weight of the other person's influence. That narcissistic character, it's reminiscent of the biblical serpent tempting Eve in the Garden of Eden. It seeks to ensnare the victim. It offers a distorted reflection of freedom through deception. And I believe the song gives us a perspective of someone who's experienced trauma. The term ascensionism may evoke a complex range of emotions and interpretations, and trauma often leaves individuals grappling with feelings of disconnection, a profound sense of loss. And in this context, ascensionism could be seen as a coping mechanism, a rational and spiritual journey, and that's why we have the word algorithm there and the contrast of algorithm and deity. So it's a journey towards healing, a transcendence in the aftermath of trauma. The subject wants to ascend. They have a desire to rise above the pain, to rise above adversity. And ascensionism could be emotional growth, could be finding meaning in the face of adversity. So let's deeply analyze the lyrics for us to look for clues. I think the lyrics are not meant to be interpreted like literally. I think we need to feel that we're in a dream. And the words and the feelings, they will come to us as if we were on some sort of like trance. It's a trip to our subconscious. So the words are hermetic. The beginning talks about a mutual understanding of desires. I know what you want from me, right? I know what you want from me. Well, do you really? Or do you want me to be manipulated and to be a reflection of what you want me to be? So that's very cryptic, right? Is this a mirror? It talks about redemption. Is the song a sense of atonement? Eternal ascension in a way that it's kind of like perpetual growth. So we want to go higher. We want to reach a higher state. So I will take what I want and leave. Well, this line talks about this transient nature of relationships, right? There's a toxic aspect. There's a selfish relationship here. So people want to take, and then they just abandon the victim. And then he sings, "Who made you like this?" Right? Who encrypted your dark gospel and body language? Synapses snap back in blissful anguish. Here's a profound sense of frustration. Who made you like this? It shows this disbelief. It's a revelation that your partner has darker tendencies or darker behavior. And then he talks about dark gospel and body language. So it's a phrase, who encrypted your dark gospel and body language, delves deeper into the mystery surrounding the partner's motives, right? The partner's intentions. It suggests that their true nature was hidden beneath layers of subtle cues, subtle gestures, reveals this manipulative, this deceptive aspect to the persona. And that realization will add to the narrator's sense of frustration. Then we have the synapses. They snap back in blissful anguish. This portrays a tumultuous inner conflict within the narrator. It conveys a mix of emotions. You got anguish, you got the discovery that your partner has a true nature. And it's a strange sense of liberation at the same time. It's kind of like you got clarity because you're confronting the reality. You know the situation now, and you have this juxtaposition. You have conflicting emotions, but that underscores the complexity of your feelings towards your partner. And then you have that genius phrase, right? I mean, half algorithm, half deity. That is the juxtaposition. You have contrasting concepts, right? You have the technology of the algorithm here, and you have the divinity, the deity, and they describe your partner's complex nature. And we can think about a breakdown of that interpretation. Well, how can we look at the half algorithm? We can analyze the term typically to a set of rules, a set of instructions, and they're followed by a computer, right? They solve a problem, they perform a task. And in the context of the lyrics, they describe the partner as half algorithm or part of the relationship because they suggest this mechanistic, right? This calculated aspect to the behavior. So it implies that they may approach relationships or interactions in a systematic way, more of a rational manner. Perhaps they prioritize logic over emotion. And then there's the half deity part, and that conveys the notions of divinity, power, transcendence. So they describe the partner as half deity, suggesting this elevated or superior status that's imbued with qualities of reverence or awe, right? It implies a sense of charisma, authority, allure that draws other people towards them. So overall, we got a phrase here, half algorithm, half deity, painting a picture of a partner who embodies both rationality and mystique. They blend these elements of technological precision and divine charisma. It suggests a complex and enigmatic persona who's capable of both logical calculations and also captivating influence. And the addition of the line glitches in the code or gaps in a strange dream, it further enriches the portrayal of the partner's multifaceted nature as half rationality, half transcendence, right? Half algorithm, half deity. Here's how the line contributes to the interpretation. Well, the glitches in the code, they extend the metaphor. Despite that seemingly rational behavior, there are imperfections or inconsistencies within the behavior. The glitches could represent moments of unpredictability or vulnerability where the partner deviates from that usual calculated approach. And the gaps in a strange dream, or conversely, the mention of gaps in a strange dream adds an element of mystery and surrealism to the partner's persona. It implies that the influence transcends the bounds of logic, the bounds of rationality. It delves into the realm of the subconscious and the metaphysical. And these gaps, they could symbolize moments of revelation, right? I mean, I got certain gaps there that, I know my partner's true nature, and it's beyond these confines. So together, these lines, they paint a vivid picture of my partner's complex and enigmatic figure. They oscillate between the rational and the mystical. It's the predictable and the surreal. And that's the amazing aspect of psychology, right? Because, I mean, it's the brain. I mean, the left and the right part, logic and emotion. So let's talk a little bit about the idea of our partner being a reflection of ourselves, right? And in psychology, like I said, individuals, they look out for partners. They want to find people who mirror and who reflect aspects of themselves, right? I mean, that's done sometimes consciously or unconsciously. And that mirroring, it can foster a sense of validation, of understanding and connection. And that creates a sense of familiarity. So it's easier for us to try and look for mirrors. Another thing that we do is we project, right? And that projection, we will try to find individuals and look for attributes that are related to thoughts and feelings and desires and all these things. But we're actually imposing our own view, right? So we're projecting this idealized, the desired qualities that we see onto the partner. And that will mess up their aspirations and their identity, because obviously that leads to unrealistic expectations. And that's a tendency to seek validation. So if you're hooked to someone who's got lots of empathy, they will try to seek validation through the behavior, right? I mean, trying to confirm what you expect from them. And that's when the manipulation kicks in. All right, so let's talk about the characters. Who's the narcissist here? Who's the empath, right? There's no way to know. Let's imagine that Vessel is the empath, let's say, and then Sleep or whoever is the perpetrator, right? This interpretation, it may align with themes of vulnerability, longing, the struggle against external forces. We can also try to imagine Sleep as a lover, so a romantic interest within the narrative, and that interaction with Vessel obviously will manifest itself with elements of manipulation and toxicity and power dynamics, and obviously it will reflect the complexities of intimate relationships overall. So that's why the song works for all of us, because there's lots of ambiguities here. You know, it's possible to see vessel or sleep representing different aspects of the same person or even psyche. I mean, it's very hard to find who's embodying these conflicting emotions, because we are presenting the story through desires, the nuanced exploration of the struggles and the contradictions. Ultimately, it's all about that intentional ambiguity, because it allows us, listeners, to project our own interpretations onto the song. It creates this deep personal and this deep immersive experience. And that's what the band wants us to do. They want the music itself to be the message, right? So they want to encourage listeners to impose their meaning, to bring their themes and their emotions, because the sound will convey the experience. That's why it's kind of like a ritual. It's not looking for definitive answers. It's not looking for exact characters and an exact narrative. It's approaching this connection, right? It's resonating with the music and inviting you to explore your emotions and to find ways to cope, right? And within that context of storytelling. So what about the part that sings about lipstick? You know, like lipstick, chemtrails, red flags, pink nails. Again, in my opinion, it's a line that tries to do a juxtaposition of disparate elements. So again, it's about sensations, it's about images. So lipstick will combine with the pink nail and will evoke this notion of femininity, beauty, or superficiality in a way. And the chemtrails and the red flags will suggest something more ominous, something sinister, hiding, and the dangers and the warnings of that, let's say, interaction. So together, these images, they could symbolize the complexities and the contradictions that are inherent in relationships, where you have moments of allure, charm, and they may coexist with warning signs of potential harm. And then what do? Well, you got one eye on the door and the other eye on a rail. You got even another eye following a scarlet trail. And that imagery, it's an amazing poetry that wants to suggest, obviously subjectively interpreted by me, this sense of vigilance, a sense of watchfulness. So the mention of one eye on the door, it implies a readiness to flee, to escape, right? It's a desire to find direction, to find guidance. And the reference to the Scarlet Trail will add a layer of intrigue. It suggests a path that is marked by danger, by passion, perhaps leading to bad consequences. And overall, the section, the lyrics, they paint a vivid picture. There's a situation that there's lots of tension, uncertainty, hidden meanings. It invites you to delve deeper into the complexities of human relationships and the intricacies of navigating desire, danger, and self-preservation. So what about the diamonds in the trees and the pentagrams in the night sky? What's the meaning behind it? It is a metaphorical juxtaposition and encapsulates this interplay between beauty, darkness, materialism, spirituality. You got the imagery of diamonds forged in the depths of the earth, right? I mean, diamonds are carbon. They symbolize a material wealth for our society, but they also can mean spiritual purity. They suggest this longing for transcendence, but you're trapped in a material world. And the pentagrams, they're scattered across the night sky because they evoke these pagan motifs. They evoke the stars, right? So we are like grounded by the carbon, but you're also related to air. There's a deeper connection to the mystical forces of the universe. So together, there's this duality that's inherent to the human experience, because we are both earth and sky, right? There are moments of beauty, the diamonds and the enlightenment, and there is this shadow of doubt and ambiguity with the pentagrams in the night sky, the darkness, the blanket of mystery. So Ascensionism is a contrast of love and hate. It's an attempt for you to elevate yourself from all of the toxicity of the past. And it's inviting you to contemplate on the complexities of existence, the quest for meaning, and the ephemeral nature of a relationship, right? Well, what do you think? It's very complex, and it's a long video. Do you agree with this take? What's your opinion on it? Once everything's lost, we can only say, we can only scream. You make me wish I could disappear, right? I mean, it's like the character is overwhelmed by this intensity and the emotions that are being evoked. They might find themselves wishing to escape, to disappear as a way to cope with the emotional turmoil that they're experiencing. There is a sense of invisibility. So the phrase could suggest a feeling that they're not being seen or being heard. The narrator wants to say, hey, I got needs, I got desires, and they're being ignored, invalidated. So they're like, I wish I could disappear because there's so much emotional pain here. And they're left with this desire for relief. Again, if you feel suffocated, if you're trapped, you yearn for a sense of freedom, a sense of ascensionism, to release from the constraints of that situation. So it's recovery from trauma. If we go back to the Bible and the idea of ascensionism, like originally, the Bible gives you that period of 40 days, talks about a relationship that's renewed between Jesus and God. And it's this comparison of Jesus and God and Jesus and his followers. So again, the earth and the sky, right? And I don't know if it's related to the song, obviously, but I just thought it was a cool combination. And I hope that you liked this video, and I would like to hear your thoughts on this incredible and very complex song. And again, as you know, music is what music does. And I'm signing out. I'll see you next time. Bye now.